Vietnamese shaking beef my way. All right, finally, here's a recipe video. I've been working on my beef cooking skills. I no longer hate it. Still love chicken more than pork. But yeah, no more Hawaii stuff. Onto some really good food. I would say I'm still a beginner with beef, but everything I'm telling you is somewhat trustworthy. I also thought I'd get a little bit away from Thai food. Still want to work on getting good at it. But we're gonna do this Vietnamese appetizer, which is weird. Steak as an appetizer. But yeah, let's get into it. It's delicious, salty, tangy, a little bit of sweetness. Add some spice to it if you want. Fairly new in cooking beef. Took a while to cook it and also understand the cooking of it. I still need much more experience and much more to learn. Let's get into it. Marinade. 2 teaspoons soy sauce, oil, neutral flavor, fish sauce, 1/2 to 1 freshly cracked pepper. Black. Vietnamese shaking beef usually has a black pepper sauce. I'm not including this to make the process of making this dish a lot quicker. So if you want that but you don't feel like making that, go 1 teaspoon. For the beef, you want 1 pound. Right here I got top sirloin. Lean, affordable, and it tastes great. And it's got a decent amount of beef flavor. Decently tender too. I've used tri-tip and that was great. You can use beef chuck, New York strip. You want tender cuts that are good for stir fry. Also want it quite thick too. Ribeye. Now, if you're no waist like me, see all this fat, you don't have to do this. I'm gonna trim some of that excess fat. I'm gonna thinly slice it. And while I'm prepping everything else on a pan, put my heat on low, render out all the fat. That way you don't have to use some oil and you get extra beef browned flavor. And those can be little snacks. Everybody loves a steak that's easier to chew. That's why people love medium rare and stuff. Because this cut is not super tender, I'm gonna make it more tender. At least that's my belief in the purpose of doing it. Cutting against the grain, you make the muscle fibers shorter, making it easier to chew on. People usually do this after cooking the steak, but you can also do this before. You can do this with any protein. And think about the grain thing as in like you're chewing on a long straw compared to a shorter one. That's how I look at it. Not as good. Some steak, some of the fibers are hard to identify. The direction you cut it matters. Not all steaks, fibers not going the same direction. With sirloin, there's gonna be some regions that are going different ways. So I will cut that part off, like here too. You see that? You see it running down that way? 1 cut perpendicular to those grains, not along it. So I got like this. Even this works fine too, just cutting it straight down. But most Asian people, especially the Chinese, are cutting at a 35-degree angle, maybe even smaller. I just want you to angle it. This works great with super thin slices. Shaking beef, I'm not gonna do that. Shaking beef is in cubes. I do still believe that if you do this, it does help with tenderness. Do is take your finger, you wanna cut about 2 inches away, and then cut that piece a little bit over 1 inch. What you're trying to shoot for here is 1 inch cubes. That way it gives you more leeway. Decide if you want like a medium rare or something. Well done, you don't care? All right, cut it 1/2 inch. Mix your beef with the marinade. Let that sit to the side while you prep your other stuff, or throw it in the fridge, cover, and let it sit for up to 24 hours. I would put it in a Ziploc bag, squeeze all the air out, close it and roll it up tightly. Expose it to oxygen and it's gonna start to brown. 1 small yellow onion, thinly slice it. 4 medium large garlic cloves. Give it a mince in between fine and rough. You want 2 green onions. Only want the white and light green. Use this if you want, I don't. Cut these into 2-inch segments and then quarter. Break it up so you don't have to do it in the pan. Separate the layers. 1 tablespoon soy sauce, fish sauce, 2 heaping on a white distilled vinegar, and oyster sauce. A little bit of sweetness. 1 teaspoon sugar. Mix until that sugar is dissolved. For the slurry, 1 tablespoon cold water, 1 teaspoon cornstarch. Shaking beef is fairly dry, but thanks to Marion Kitchen, I tried one dry and I tried her sauce. I'm sorry, Vietnamese people. Saucy is far more superior. Mix until fully dissolved. What do you eat it with? Lettuce cups or cabbage cups? Any lettuce that allows you to eat this cuppable? This is iceberg, I'm tired of cabbage. Lime, a little bit of tomato, thinly slice or dice it. Cucumber, thinly slice that. Cilantro or mint. Now we start cooking. High heat. I got all my beef fat in here. Get it smoky. Be prepared and open the window. Fire alarm is still gonna go off. Don't worry. Parents will open all the doors and the windows. Don't go away and talk about it for the next 10 minutes. Your meal will be done. You'll be good. You want to brown the beef and get really good flavor. So I would add half your beef. If that ever happens, just cover it with a lid if it doesn't go out. Spread your beef out, let it sit for a minute. That should be enough time for it to get nice and golden brown. And then stir, shake the pan 30 seconds. Make sure they're all flipped on the uncooked side, and you have a choice. Golden brown on the other side, 1 minute. If you go longer, it's gonna get closer and closer and closer to well done. So it's up to you. Set it aside. Your next batch, repeat that process. Lower it and go in between medium, high, and high. Add your onion, stir fry for 2 minutes. Garlic, stir for a minute, constant. Add your sauce, let it cook down for a minute, and add the beef juices and go for 30 seconds to a minute. Reduce it a good bit. It should be moving like this. Pay attention, look at it. Look how I'm moving. Add your beef, the white and pale green parts of the green onion. Mix this for a couple of seconds. Stir your slurry, add it. Mix this until it thickens up and coats all pieces of beef. Turn off the heat, take it off. Put it in your container of choice. Now we plate up lettuce, the cucumber, tomato, the lime wedge. Any rice works, so we got some jasmine rice. Ran out of bowls, so we got the shaking beef. Take some rice, take a tomato, take a cucumber, a little bit of lime, take your shaking beef, the cilantro, and you got 1 complete bite